Hey there! I'm Garrett from the Software Training Lab, and today we're going to go over placing clips on the timeline and making some small rough cuts to the video in Adobe Premiere Pro. We've already covered importing media in a previous video, so I currently have a lot of media ready to go in my project panel. The easiest way to get clips on the timeline is to drag your file directly onto the timeline space. You can see that my video clip has been split into its video on the top track and audio on the bottom track. We can move across the timeline by scrolling on it left and right, or with your mouse wheel. We can also zoom on the timeline in a few different ways. The plus and minus keys on your keyboard. The zoom scroll bar here at the bottom. You can just grab one of these ends. That'll zoom us in, and moving it outward zooms us out. You can also hold the Alt key on your keyboard, or Option if you're on Mac, and scroll, and that will zoom in wherever your mouse is at. Once you put down your first clip, it will create a new sequence. In Premiere, a sequence is essentially one whole video shown here on the timeline. It will automatically set the resolution, or the width and height of your video based on the first clip that we drag in. If you need to adjust the size of your video, make sure you have the timeline active first, shown by this light blue border. Then go to Sequence, Sequence Settings. Here we can change a number of things, like the horizontal and vertical size of the video, the frames per second, and the audio sample rate. Be careful changing these unless you know you need something different. Some standard video sizes include 720p, which is 1280 by 720, 1080p, which is 1920 by 1080, QHD, which is 2560 by 1440, or 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. With that out of the way, let's look at our other ways to bring in footage. We're going to use the source monitor in order to preview our clip and choose which portion will be brought into the timeline. If you double-click on any of your clips in the media panel, they will open up in the source monitor here in the top left. We can play this video to see which parts I want to include. While watching the video, I can press I and O on my keyboard to set an in and an out point. This selects only a portion of the video that will be added to the timeline. Just click and drag on the video here to grab only that section that you've selected. With some different clips on our timeline, we can drag the ends of clips to make it longer or shorter, or move entire clips around. In the next video, we'll be going over some more ways to make some basic edits to your clips.